way heel strike running may result in neuromuscular fatigue more so than forefoot running is that landing with a heel strike with an unbent knee when running may result in extra muscle energy cost because the impact forces associated with this specific landing configuration tends to exceed several times the body weight, which in turn may exceed joint loading limits, particularly on the knee joint, which is why heel strike running consistently gets linked with knee injury. Also, these high impact conditions may demand more energy for the increases in muscle and soft tissue tuning response needed to help absorb the excessive impact. In addition, there may also be more muscular power required to overcome the prolonged braking phase at touchdown induced by an abnormally long overstride angle created by landing really far back squarely on the heel while the knee is fully unbent at touchdown. This causes a prolonged braking phase at touchdown when running because this specific landing configuration causes the center of mass, which is the hips, to make a longer travel to pass up and over initial foot strike position, whereby the longer the distance between initial foot strike position and the center of mass, the longer in duration and more intensive the braking phase. In other words, the body essentially comes to a crashing halt for a prolonged period of time. Another labor-intensive aspect of this is muscular strain may arise more easily because the lower leg may need to work harder at stabilizing the ankle until the center of mass makes that long travel to and over initial foot strike position. Therefore, more muscular demands and mechanical effort may be needed to accelerate the body through a prolonged high-impact braking phase. In fact, one study, which is linked down below this video in the description box, traced the problem of a prolonged braking phase at touchdown when running to being costly extra work for the body to manage. The study found that prolonged braking at touchdown in heel strike running was largely to blame for increases in soft tissue movements and muscle tuning, which taken together resulted in a substantial net energy loss in all three leg joints during the stance phase of running. In other words, because heel strike running with a fully unbent knee at touchdown produces an extended brake force period, generates higher than normal levels of shock attenuation in the muscles and the soft tissues, which may result in diminishing returns in energy savings, which could eat into running economy. One way to counter this problem when running is by landing with the forefoot strike because it correlates better with a less burst of high braking because the braking phase at touchdown is much shorter in duration and less forceful on account of landing forefoot first when running engages less knee extension and therefore more knee bend at touchdown, which helps shorten the distance between the center of mass and initial foot strike position. As a result, the body spends less time braking and less time coming to a crashing halt, which may reduce the need for shock attenuation in the muscles and the soft tissues, and also it may reduce muscular effort and muscle power to thrust the body forward, which could result in more efficient accelerations. Also, forefoot striking when running results in a smoother motion of the foot with the ground that produces overall less jarring. So it's for all these reasons that forefoot strike running may be much less impact intensive and therefore may require less vigorous shock attenuation response in the muscles and in the soft tissue compartments, which may certainly help widen the resource of energy savings because, again, less effort may be needed to absorb impact and less muscular effort may be needed to propel the body out of the brake phase in forefoot running than in heel strike running. So I just thought it'd be well worth outlining the potential differing demands placed on the body in forefoot strike running versus heel strike running, and that certain demands on the body may be more reducible and therefore potentially raising energy efficiency more so with forefoot running than with heel strike running. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you did, feel free to hit the thumbs up button as well as the subscribe button if you haven't already, where you'll stay more informed on forefoot running versus heel strike running, as well as on how barefoot running can help you run with better form in shoes. Thank you so much for listening and watching. Have fun out there on the roads and trails. Bye for now.